All right, spring is upon us. Everything is moving and grooving. The warmer weather, the increase in sunlight is causing the spring vegetables to grow quite nicely. You see with the turnip beds as well as the lettuce. But with the growth of vegetables also means the emergence of pests. And depending on what pests you have and what crop you have will ultimately determine what sort of level of damage you're going to have. So in these beds, they look pretty clean. The leaves and the turnips themselves don't look damaged at all. The lettuces don't look damaged at all. But a specific pest, when it's in an area, will also prefer certain vegetables. So in this case, if you look at the kale, for the most part, looks pretty good. But if I go to this side of the bed, definitely looks like somebody is chewing on it. And I've learned that usually the damage is very concentrated in one specific area and then spreads as the pests reproduce and produce more pests. It typically spreads like wildfire. So if you don't catch it early enough, you may lose the whole bed or the crop to whatever that pest is. Two of the biggest issues that I have, or I would say three, but it's not the case here. Three would be ants, but I don't see any ant damage. Would either be slugs or earwigs. If you have mulch like I do, they typically hide, and at night they come out from there and then they come into the bed themselves. But I don't have any mulch here, so it's a bit unusual that it's kind of on the side of this. But nonetheless, I use these plastic containers to combat the pests. So anytime I see extensive damage, I get my little container here, which an empty one looks like this. You put your little concoction in the middle and you just put a little hat on it to stop any sort of rain damaging what we have here. So in my case, I use a cup of water, teaspoon of flour and sugar and yeast. Get it smelling like beer out here, and it tends to attract what I need it to. So in this case, because of sugar, it attracts a lot of ants. So a good amount of ants in there. But if you look real closely to these ones, kind of the white brownish, little larger thing than the ants, those are baby earwigs. And if I didn't have so many ants in here, you'd see a good amount of them. So earwigs tend to reproduce like any pest in a large amount, and those babies want to come out and eat something. And that's typically what I see here. That could be also slug damage, but based on what I'm seeing here, I definitely see earwig damage. And pretty much once I put this out one night, they will all fall into here, and damage is restricted only to where the damage is. So I've only seen damage kind of here for the last couple weeks. I don't see it anywhere else. If I were to kind of see more here, I know I would need more, and I would just exchange it out for fresh stuff and be good with it. So I have a lot of earwigs in this one. Not so many earwigs in this one, but some here and there. So the damage I see here, I put the container where the extensive damage is, and typically you haul in a good amount of pests. If I just go a foot to the left where damage isn't as present, still present nonetheless, I do not see as many of the pests even though it's in a very close range to it. So whenever you see the damage, it's pretty much that's where it's going to be. You put something out, capture them, and then you just kind of rotate everything. So you see a lot of the ants going all over the place, but for the most part, I think I'm done here. I don't have any sort of issues because I don't see any sort of extensive damage. I would just dump this and wait for the next round of damage I see on plants, put out these containers, and be done with it. So these are off Amazon. They're very nice. I have about 10 of them. They're usually scattered all throughout the beds, just to kind of see, give me an idea of what pests are out there and what I'm capturing. And then once I see damage, I put a cluster of them in a very concentrated area to minimize that sort of damage. So highly recommend this to combat early pest damage in the spring.